Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. You are watching Insight. Right now, we're here with our good friend Heather Foster from Foster Financial, who's always bringing us some great financial information, financial tips, all of the above. Heather, it's a pleasure to have you back in studio.
It's always good to be here, Tony.
Yeah, look, we always are getting these great tips from you. We're having these conversations, but we want to give people kind of an overview to just catch up, knowing what Foster Financial does. We know you cover a lot of different areas.
Yeah, we definitely try to keep this educational every time I come in here and try to give tidbits. But I think people, like, when they call in, they're like, I don't really, I know she's giving all this information, but what do we expect? So just what to expect when you call us. Basically, when you call us, we do a 15-minute phone intake. We just ask you some general questions to find out where you're at in your walk when you're talking about retirement and money. You might just be somebody who's just starting to save. Maybe you're in your 20s, you got your first 401k, or you're wanting to maybe look at opening a Roth IRA, all the way to the retirees that have been retired for years and years and years, and they just want maybe somebody who also is doing tax strategizing. So that 15-minute intake call is just a get to know you, find out where you're at. That kind of allows us also to align you with the right financial advisor. We have multiple financial advisors in the office, so we align you with who we think might be the best fit for your particular scenario there. And then we invite you for a first meeting. The first meeting is complimentary. We don't charge for it. That's more of an intense get to know you, though. Before you come in for that first meeting, we send you out a letter, an email and a letter, and it kind of gives you a line item list of things that we'll want you to bring to that meeting. We ask for statements and pension information and tax returns, a lot of stuff. And again, people sometimes are like, why do you want all that in the first meeting? Because it tells a story. There's, I listen to people talk, but there's no more black and white story for me as an advisor than to see it in black and white. The statements, the tax returns. That first meeting kind of aligns us to be able to see, can we help you? Is there areas that maybe you're not focused on currently that we could save you in taxes, in investment returns, that kind of thing. And then from there, if we feel like we can help you, we invite you back for a second meeting. That second meeting also is complimentary, and that's actually where we're going to go through consulting process. We typically start out with everybody through consulting. Instead of you just handing your money to a financial advisor and go, here you go, you really should have that introduction of consulting first to see where are they wanting to take you, what are they wanting to do, how is it in your best interest, are they acting as a fiduciary, can they back this stuff up with black and white information and black and white numbers. So we invite them to do consulting. We do charge a fee for the consulting plan, and we lay out a fully designed financial plan to get somebody all the way through their saving years to their retirement years until their family years, right? Which is they're leaving their estate to somebody else or that next generation planning. So we take it all the way through that process. And that process itself can be usually about 2 2-hour sessions after the first and second meeting. So by the time we're done with consulting, Tony, I mean, we've been working with somebody for 8 to 10 hours in person with them face to face in the office, as well as all the background work that we're laying out, which is usually about a 15 to 20 hour background work that we put into the financial plans. And then after all that, sometimes we look at people and say, hey, based on where you're at and what you're dealing with, or maybe you don't have an advisor right now, or the advisor you have isn't doing this kind of in-depth planning, then we may invite them to become an ongoing permanent client of ours. And we see them regularly. We meet with our clients quite often, and we talk to them regularly. We do a lot of tax strategizing. So that's kind of our process. We don't just have people walk in the door and say, here's $1 million, invest it. We're very much one to say, hey, go through this process, because this process is what is in your best interest. It's to make sure that when you meet with an advisor, can they actually give you any kind of back testing that shows that you're better with them than maybe another advisor or your current advisor.
Yeah, and from all of what you're saying, I love that it's seeming like this, as you go through this process, you're building a relationship.
It definitely is.
I mean, it's a lot of trust. And like you said, if you're dealing with a lot of 6 figures, 7 figures, a lot of this money, you're building that relationship, and it's important to be able to have that trust between the client and the financial advisor, right?
It absolutely is. I mean, people sleep well at night when they know that they can trust their financial advisor, right? I mean, they know that they've placed their assets, their money, their hard work, all those years that they worked so hard to save all this, they're placing it in someone else's hands. They better have a lot of trust. And to me, that trust doesn't necessarily come into the shape of, hey, let's go to dinner and let's go hit some golf balls and I'll tell you your portfolio is okay. It really should come down to some black and white. I can back all this stuff up and show you where we're saving you. That is a different kind of relationship. I always tell people there's 2 different kinds of financial advisor relationships. There's the good old boy relationship where you just go, hey, you're good, let's go have a drink. And then there's the ones that actually really put a lot of time and effort and black and white numbers can show you things. That's kind of the relationships that we tend to build.
And you know, we can tell from the dedication that you put in every time you come in each week sharing this information. Heather, we appreciate you and love having you as always.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Everyone, take a look at your screen right now. Find out much more information about Foster Financial. Go ahead and book that complimentary consultation. Find out much more information. Get those questions answered. We'll be right back.